The reason for this maintenance is center view. The exhaust fan for the bathroom has ceased to function. There are 2 of these fans installed in the 18th. The reason for the failure is suspected to be exposure to extreme temperatures. During the summer, the fan gets very hot, and during the winter, the fan operates in the cold. Just a theory. This is based upon the temperature of the attic. There's another aspect of this maintenance. The fan is controlled with a humidity sensing outlet at the door and the opposite to the tub. When the room is humid, the fan turns on and off before it should. If the bathroom door is left open, this situation is aggravated. Kofi addresses these issues, but first, social etiquette. A journey of home renovation and maintenance. Welcome to Maintaining 18. The humidity sensing switch will be removed and replaced with a GFCI outlet that turns off when the current leaves the circuit. Great protection. It won't shock Kofi for a long time, and he will have more life. Allow your narrator to digress for a moment. The wall around the outlet looks very rough. This will be addressed in a later maintenance. Kofi continues with the demo. Kofi has to remove the non-working fan. Kofi could not replace the fan with the exact brand, which is unfortunate. As you will see, this presents a problem. There's no insulation above the fan, and that is not good. A lack of insulation could shorten the fan's life, and it is subject to the summer attic heat and the winter cold. This is only a theory Kofi has. The brand of this fan is clever. It made it easy to install the venting pipes. The new fan did not have this feature, and it is a problematic installation. Kofi is dismantling the electrical. Shortly after, he will dismantle the vent pipes. A couple tips for you. As best as possible, get the correct size replacement fan. As best as possible. If that is not possible, try to ensure that you have a fan which allows the duct to be installed first, along with the electrical, and then the fan unit itself. Of course, having both of these features is a win-win. It is no secret, Kofi does not like flexible duct work. It's easily torn and is very difficult to manage at some times. This switch cycles the fan depending on humidity. Kofi vaguely recalls reading online about the switch detecting some harmful gases, in which case the fan will cycle. Still, with caution, it is not a feature. In any case, the switch needs to be as close as possible to the bath. This location is within 4 feet of the shower head. There's a joist and it's close enough to the bath. The electrical box is designed to be attached to a stud or joist. What Kofi is trying to avoid is extending the electrical wire, which requires a junction box, which will be a difficult task given the limited space to access the attic. This is a difficult part. By code, wires should be attached to a stud or joist within, say, 6 inches or so of the electrical box. There is limited attic space, but it was done. The switch is being installed finally. Power is now connected to the switch. The wire that is dangling will be attached to the fan. It comes from the switch. This is something that Kofi does, sealing the edges of the drywall. The issue or concern Kofi had earlier is now being addressed. Insulation is added above the fan. Typically, R48 is sufficient, or should I say, the minimum. This bit of installation, the shiny stuff, Reflectix, what it does is bar radiant heat. It's a good thing, but during the winter, not so efficient. R1. It is time for Kofi to install the fan, but don't do this. Don't do this. Kofi dislikes flexible vents, but they have their purpose. In this situation, a flexible duct is necessary. Only a small piece of flexible duct is necessary, but Kofi dares not cut into it. Instead, it is compressed to size. Couple of issues. Recall earlier, this fan footprint is smaller than the one that's being replaced. Fortunately, the fan is light enough and could be secured using only one side. The installation would have been impossible without the flexible duct. The design of this fan requires that the housing be put up first. The flexible duct reaches inside the housing, and then I guess you could say the trap goes on next. This is not what Kofi is used to. Typically, this portion is done first, then the housing next, and then the fan. Kofi did try his grandest to eliminate the flexible duct. More on that later at the end of the video. You're watching Maintaining 18, a homeowner Kofi maintaining his home. If you have not done so, please consider subscribing. Leave a comment or share the video with someone who you think will enjoy it. And as always, keep blight away, we maintain. Approaching final assembly, the electrical has to be wired. There is a very simple connector used to connect the power to the fan once the fan is installed. It's pretty much standard with each fan. This portion was also very challenging. The screw holes did not line up properly. It took several tries to get everything to fit together perfectly. With the power attached, the finishing remains. It was fortunate for Kofi that the fan broke in the summer or close to the end of summer, which means that the window could be used as a supplement. But with winter approaching, this is not a possibility. But this maintenance is done. Should I say almost done? There's a sticker to be added. The fan is indeed connected to a GFCI. This is how Kofi wires bathrooms. Fans, lights, everything inside the bathroom is on a GFCI. Unnecessary? Maybe. But he's protected. Your narrator has reached the end of this presentation, but this is not the case for Kofi, and there's some extra footage which was promised. The day is won. The flexible duct was replaced with a rigid duct. It is to this rigid duct that the flexible duct was installed at. Fortunately, there is good access to the ductwork from the other side of the room, the utility area. Another detail is that the new fan came assembled and had to be deassembled for installation. The damper on the black plastic portion does not function very well. It had to be removed. When the duct was installed, the damper kept coming off and it would not stay on for the life of Kofi. Unfortunately, it had to go, so another solution had to be put in place. In addition, when the flexible line was on, the damper itself could not open because it got stuck on the flexible line. It's poor design, I would say, but the fan works. One thing that was done, which was off camera, was to fill the gap around the fan housing with insulation. Later on, Kofi will add some mastic or some sealing tape to complete that sealing process.